Okay, good morning, everyone. It's quite a challenge to speak after such a nice and entertaining presentation, especially because you see there are so many publications and we are still at the beginning of our trip, so we don't have such fancy and glossy papers yet out. The only thing we have is a fancy and glossy website, which you are very much invited to visit. So already in the first meeting that we had in Brussels some months ago, there was a lot about STAR3, and a lot of you sitting here actually are part of this big consortium. So the idea was today just to make an initial presentation, because there might be a lot of synergies between these two projects, so between the cost action that we are today here gathering because of it, and also this project. So you know that Europe is a little bit like all the policies is driven by waves. You know, there comes a new idea, and everybody has to dance or to swim according to this new idea. So there is also this new Europe 2020 strategy that would like to develop a new, let's say, more bio-based economy for Europe that is more efficient, intelligent, so it's based more on innovations, it's more sustainable, so it decreases the importance of fossil fuels in the European economy, and it's also more integrated. So, of course, you would say that the forestry sector, the forest sector has for decades already more or less been all this, but maybe we were not able really to use all our opportunities that we had been given or that we have given by nature. So there might be that we would have to amplify a little bit our alternatives when talking at these cross-sectoral issues. And of course, it's much easier to say than to do it, because as we already heard before, the diversity of the European countries, we were seeing that on the global scale there is a huge diversity, but it's not really decreasing or making it much easier when it comes to Europe. There's also there are vast differences between different countries, how important non-wood forest products are, or how unimportant there are. So as we saw that there was a very small share of the world's or of the FAO budget destinated to forestry, and even less to the non-wood forest products, you can also imagine how much attention is paid to these products in some of these countries that are here on this list. In any case, in the past, most of the attention was put on wooden products. So if we would really like to have something more out of these non-wood forest products that we all believe that are important, then we need also to have some more integral solutions, not only looking at one side, so how to develop the market or how to improve the production or how to improve the processing process. But this is a whole circle. In the initial idea, we had this star here inside, so it's going from the forest down back to the customer and back to the forest, and all this should be supported by some innovative approaches. So this is also the main idea of the STAR3 project. So it should tackle all the different parts of this value chain of non-wood forest products, and it should search for some innovative methods and therefore amplify these opportunities that are there in this sector. So the objectives are just very much going in line with what you saw on the other slide that was put into picture. Here it was just written. It looks much more scientific and a little bit more boring, but in general it goes that that the project is aiming at optimizing on one side the production of non-wood forest products, because right now I don't know how many of the countries are actually managing, or in how many cases the forests are actually managed in order to promote the production of non-wood forest products. Also then to see where is the socioeconomic importance, because we saw the tables that were presented by the previous speaker. Of course, when you look at them at the global scale, they look nice, but there's still a lot of gaps in knowledge there. I mean, also the European level, if you go not to the forest resource assessment, but to the state of European forest, I mean, when you come to the chapter of non-wood forest products, you will mostly see empty cells in those tables. So we should also know something more about the social and economic importance and the potential of the markets, recognize what the customers actually need, because we are finally producing something for the end customer, for the end user, and also realize what is the role of the actors. So that should trigger the innovation. But not only those actors that are dealing with innovations, but all the actors in this value chain. We saw already that there is importance about the institutional setup, about the legislation and so on, and then of course accelerate this transfer of new ideas, of innovative ideas into the practice. So all this is are the targets or objectives of the STAR3 project, and we have 4 years to accomplish it. So according to these objectives, we have also the structure of the project here. So we have, let's say, on the left-hand side, these are more content-wise work packages that are developing methodologies, that are doing more in-depth analysis, and are trying to produce something innovative. And then we have the case studies, because we believe that it's very important that we are not only sitting in our labs and doing some research, but that we actually go out to hear what the stakeholders are needing, and to bring back to them some possible solutions to their problems, or at least suggestions. And in this way, we would also then generate again new knowledge for the other side. The idea was that we wouldn't just look at one scale or one level. We have here FAO that is also part of this project, and they will certainly contribute with information on the global level. So we will have there some statistics, some databases. We would like to apply some innovative ways of looking at these statistics, some new ways of analyzing them and understanding better how the whole system works with the help of our colleagues from FAO, but not exclusively. Then, of course, also we would have the regional case studies. So these are as you will see a little bit later, we selected a number of case studies where we would like to learn about the sector in these case studies. So these case studies are quite well distributed among different countries, so that it would be really a quite nice picture all over Europe. And then finally, we would go more into depth, so some more in-depth analysis, where we would go to real enterprises or to certain forest estates, and there look from different perspectives how they work, what are their needs, what are their problems, what are their opportunities, the innovative approaches they take, and so on. So the case studies, as already mentioned, are spread around Europe. It starts from here in Portugal, it goes up to Latvia, Finland, and down to Turkey, so it's quite nicely spread. Of course, you can see that there is a little bit a certain bias towards the south, but this is somehow understandable, because we have here the importance of these non-wood porous products much more significant. So the regional case studies are not only something where we would gather the data and talk to the stakeholders. We would also do some action research, so that we would do applied research, that we would work on different topics. For example, one of them would be the development of a new brand, or some certification systems, or the development of new mobile application for mushroom pickers, and so on. And of course, we would also use these regions to validate our results, and also then to disseminate them. When it comes to the stakeholders, what we opted for is that we are establishing in each of these 14 regions a stakeholder group, which is composed of let's say, some of the most important actors there, and we talk to them. We have now planned at least one meeting per year. Most likely it will be more in some countries. It depends very much how much interest we can awake with the stakeholders, but it will be a really very nice platform. Just 1 week ago, we had such an example where I was participated in Serbia, and it was really an excellent exercise, and it was very interesting to see what are the problems and what is the situation. So, what are the expected results that we would like to get from this project? Because it's always that we have some very fancy objectives, that we produce some very nice reports that nobody reads them, or they are somewhere stored in a website. But what we would really like to do here is something that is oriented toward the end users, to the stakeholders. So guidelines, workshops, innovation plans or business plans, recommendations, but of course also scientific literature, scientific articles and reports. And what is expected is that we would be able to increase the variety of tools that are existing already. So, or maybe just put them into a different perspective. In any case, there is quite broad number of partners in this project, which makes it a little bit more challenging to put everything together and to manage them. But luckily I have very good helpers here, some of them sitting in the audience. But what is one of the interesting points of this project is that the Commission actually forced us somehow, which is quite good, to bring together not only research institutions, that you can see that there are many of them that you would most likely know, but also small and medium enterprises that are participating in having their say and their role in the project. And I can tell you that it's quite a refreshing thing to have these small and medium enterprises with us, because the thing is not so boring when you come to the meetings, and the second, they really raise points that they're interested in. They're not interested to sit the whole day and just listen to some boring presentations. They want some action to happen, and this is really a very refreshing way of doing research projects. At least I find it like that. So I'm really looking forward to be able to maybe in 2 or 3 years staying again in front of the same audience to present some of our main results, or maybe even earlier. So these are just some main figures about the project, which you can very much find on our website, which I think that it's very nicely done. It's very interactive. We have very good colleagues that are taking care that it's updated on a daily basis almost, maybe not daily, but let's say weekly basis. So it's not that you will come back in 1 month and it will be still the same picture and the same article like in some other pages that I'm responsible for and I'm not so active. We have also a Facebook account and a Twitter account that you are very much invited to point yourself as followers, as friends, or whatever it's called. I'm not so familiar with this anymore, I'm getting old, but in any case, we have all these tools set up, and there are people who actually take care of this, that you will be able to follow the development of this project. And I'm also hope that this will be also, this would be a good platform to further develop some of these dissemination activities. So this is everything from my side. I hope I was not too wrong, and that you learned something. And as Paul mentioned, go and read it on the website. It will be much more entertaining and interactive than what I can do here. Thank you very much.